Yeah, I'm back. My name is Silaleja Adebowale, and we're jumping straight into the football world where we have a whole lot of action in the course of the week, especially in the Cup, where the English are back. No rest from the World Cup, if you ask me. But that's a topic for another day. I feel it's unreasonable, guessing guys to go back straight to football after a month of World Cup, traveling to Qatar, the emotional fatigue, the roller coaster of events, and all. But that's just a topic for another day. It has its own pros and cons. Some people will argue that if the World Cup did not happen, at least these guys will still play football, right? So, um, City going through, thanks to Real Mahrez, a masterclass by KDB. The KDB that we saw at the World Cup is different from the KDB that we saw at definitely in the match against Liverpool. They trounced Liverpool 3-2. Haaland, Mahrez, and of course Netanyahu with that wonderful lob cross from KDB to slots in the third goal. Cavallo scoring the first goal for Liverpool before Musala equalized again, and Netanyahu putting the last nail to their coffin, which if eventually or effectively move City to the next round of eight. The next round of eight, and City have somehow turned the Carabao Cup to their bad sides. Let's see who the opposition are going to be this season. Nottingham Forest at the back of their wonderful, what should I say, they are good preseason, mini preseason of the World Cup, continuing that fashion, winning 4-1 against Blackburn Rovers. Brighton and Hove could not score that elusive goal against Charlton Athletics. Game went to the penalty. Charlton actually did win on penalty, so Charlton is moving to the next round. Marcus Rashford and Eriksen scored for Manchester United as they trounced Burnley with their total football under Vincent Company. 2-0 he ended in favor of United at Old Trafford. So in the next round of games, last eight, United are going to be facing Charlton again. United are going to be at home. Forest will be playing against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Newcastle will be playing against Leicester City, whilst Southampton will be playing against Manchester City. This is a wonderful matchup, and the reason why I say this is a wonderful matchup is because there's something to cheer for, especially for Manchester United. They've not won a single title in the last 5 years, which is unlike them, if you ask me. So this is a wonderful way for them to come back. I know this is something that Mourinho does. Um, and Mourinho actually brought whatever dignity that we have in Carabao Cup to it, which after his 4 seasons with Chelsea, showing that winning a trophy changes the mentality of the players. So Manchester United will be trying to give their all for this particular trophy. At least to change the mentality of the players that we actually could win something. They are still in the Europa League for crying out loud. They still have a shot at the league as well. All things being equal, I bet very slim chance of winning the league. But of course, they have a chance to win the league mathematically. They have a chance to win the Europa Cup, and of course, this could represent their best chance to win a trophy in the course of the season as well. And Newcastle, they have not won a trophy in forever. This is another chance for them to actually do something in the competition. Newcastle are currently in the top six of the league. If they are not on third position, we're probably on fourth position. Newcastle represents a resurgence, tactical awareness on the part of their golfer, Medin Howe. And of course, they have a couple of sensational players that actually could drive them towards their end goal. And it will represent for them as well a change and a classic new order, showing the world that, hey, we can do it. We are back at the top of, we're not back of the top of of our power right now, but we can show you what we represent and what we can actually proactively do in the course of the season or going forward. This will attract better players for Newcastle as well. Hey, they won last season, so why not? Because looking at it and just supposing it with the case of us now, I've seen players like Modric of Shakhtar Donetsk, Rafael Lau, Telemans wanted to actually go to Arsenal simply because of what? Because of what Mikel Arteta have created at the Emirates Stadium. So if they win this and Eddie Howe could actually persuade players, if not the big time players, but at least the players that have an upward value in terms of ability, in terms of sale, to come to Newcastle. And once that start happening, it will be a game changer at the St. James's Park, or whatever it is that their new stadium is right now. But it will be a game changer for Newcastle. So for me, I believe it's a representation, and these two teams, Manchester United and Newcastle United, should take this trophy, or should I say this competition, a little bit more seriously. And as it goes beyond the £100,000 that is associated with this trophy, but what it does to the psyche, what it does to the mentality of the player, what it brings to the atmosphere at both St. James's Park and or Old Trafford, it will do them a whole world of good, and we could see a new dawn breaking at these stadiums. And of course, like I said, it is back. The Premier League is back, and there are a whole lot of things that's happening right now. Starting with Brentford versus Tottenham Hotspur. These teams have not they played each other in the Premier League just twice. Spurs winning one, while they drew the other one. Looking at their form right now, their last form before the national break, which honestly it's like a lifetime ago, it will have little or no bearing on what is expected from this game. Brentford on their own defeated Manchester City, who happens to be the go-to guy, should I say the clear cut favorite for the league, while Spurs managed to defeat Leeds United 4-3. Before then, it was a draw for the Brentford against Nottingham Forest. They had to come back to win this. Thanks to Wissam, and of course, Spurs lost against Liverpool 2-1. Looking at it so far in the season, Spurs are on the fourth position, while Brentford is on the 10th position. 9 wins so far for Spurs in the season, while we have just 4 for Brentford. It gives you a clear representation, or clear clear cut stuff as to what is exactly happening in terms of stuff with both teams. Average game goals per game for Spurs is actually higher. They currently sit at 2.27, while Brentford sits at 1.53. In terms of goals, where the goals will come from is not a problem for both teams, actually, if you ask me. Harry Kane with 12 goals is leading uh, between both teams, while we have Ivan Tony with 10 goals for Brentford. So look out and watch out for these two guys in terms of goal scoring opportunity for both teams. Rodrigo Bentaco is on the third with just 4 goals. What is more surprising is Dejan Kulusevski, who has 5 assists already this season. Don't forget, this guy is someone that had injury in the course of the season, at the start of the season, and could not play for large extent. I believe he has played just 5 or 6 games so far this season, and he tops the goal scoring chart for Tottenham Hotspur with 5 assists. Perisic, that is what he was brought from Inter Milan, has 4 assists. Meta Jensen with 3 assists. In terms of passes, we expect more and more, and expect more and more for Eric Dyer. He leads this with 1,000 passes already. For Tottenham Hotspur, player player Emil Hilberg with 925, and Bentaco with 684 final passes. Taku made Bentaco is leading that as well. But don't forget the the kind of stuff that these guys brings on. They know how to tackle. Matthias Jensen is the second on this chart. Vital Yenet, and of course Robert Me for Brentford. So for me, it's a clear, excuse me, it's a clear cut case of two London teams that are going head to head. You don't know where this will sway towards, and the reason why we don't know is because we are coming back from international break, a long and extended international break. It's um it's just a case of who grabs what and who grabs what not between the two teams. No major injuries for both teams right now, except for the fact that Evan Tony has a betting and a gambling scandal on his head. He has been charged with 300 further stuff that was seen on his gambling sites. You're not supposed to gamble where your team is involved or where you are involved directly. But Tony has break this could spell a whole lot of doom, or should I say a whole lot of setback for Brentford. So excess expect Tottenham Hotspur. I wouldn't give this to Tottenham Hotspur honestly, not because I don't like sports, but because of the smash and grab that could happen in this kind of game. I'll call a draw for this game. Expect David Raya to be at his best form for this particular game, and I'll call a 2-2 draw for this one. And of course, going to Crystal Palace versus Fulham, this is another London derby. So far, they have 8 games played between them in the Premier League, with Crystal Palace winning 4, Fulham winning 2, and there have been 2 draws between them. Crystal Palace have made it even for themselves. Two of those of their four wins has come, two has come at home and two has come away. So it's really inconsequential whether they are playing home or away. At the same time, same goes for Fulham as well. One win at home, one away. So it's a pretty balanced game. Last time both teams played, it was a new draw at the Social Park, and before then, Crystal Palace won in 2020. Both are coming off the back of a loss, while Fulham lost against United. Crystal Palace lost against Nottingham Forest. Currently, Crystal Palace are the 11th position, while Fulham are the 9th position. It just goes to show you what both teams looks like. Little or nothing, honestly, to separate both teams from. Um, Crystal Palace has won 5 games, while Fulham has won 5 games as well in the course of the season. Both teams have drawn 4 times, while the only telling difference is the fact that Crystal Palace has lost 5 games, while Fulham has lost 6 games in the season. Their ratio per game, goal per game, does not look so different as well. 1.1 for Crystal Palace and 1.6 for Fulham, thanks to Mitrovic that already has 9 goals this season. Wufeza with 6 goals and Bobby De Covado of Fulham with 3 goals. In terms of assists, watch out for one guy. His name is Andres Pereira, formerly of Manchester United. He knows how to thread those passes and give those killer balls. He knows how to win penalties as well. Abrechi Eze as well. He has 3 assists. And in terms of key passes, I'm looking at defenders making most of their passes. So that just goes to show you that in the midfield, we don't have much of creativities for both teams in terms of top-notch creativity. That's not to ridicule the talent of Wilfred Zaha, Brechi, Andres Pereira, Bobby Di Cavado, and of course in terms of tackle, which happens to be the biggest forte for both teams. We have your Paulia with the most tackles, 65 tackles. Surprisingly, Jordan Ayew with 11 tackles, with 31 tackles, and Jeffrey Churchlop with 30 tackles. For this game, it's a pretty balanced game. The danger man definitely was going to be a Brechi, Olise, and Zaha for Crystal Palace, while Mitrovic, who is not fit right now, according to reports being monitored currently. He's not fit right now, but if he is fit, he will be the major danger man for Fulham and Andres Pereira as well. I call a draw for this one as well. And of course, I'm going to be looking back at this show sometime next week and say, oh, wow, Debo, you fumbled so much on this one. And of course, going to the next game is going to be Everton versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Head to head, they play 16 times in the Premier League. 6 wins for Everton, four home wins, 2 away wins, 5 draws. Wolverhampton are at the bottom of the league right now. But they just signed Kula from Atletico Madrid on loan to the end of the season, trying to change the waves of stars for them. Raul Jimenez will be back definitely after the lengthy spell. They have Diego Costa as well, who we think I think he's past his prime, but he could still give them that energy. I know he breathes so much negative energy sometimes. He's not the best guy when it comes to any positive energy. But sometimes if the referee is a little bit lenient or could be easily influence, Diego Costa could be a changing force for them. Of course, they have players like Nato, Adama Traore that knows how to run in between the lines as well. So let's see what Little Pig will be able to do for the Wolverhampton Wanderers and keep them off what they are currently in right now, what this bad situation they are currently in right now. Last time both teams met, got the same pack as well. Wolverhampton won. Wolverhampton Wanderers won 1-0. Their last 2 games have not been looking too good. Everton lost against Bournemouth 3-0. Before they lost against Leicester City 2-0 as well. Before then, they drew 0-0 against Fulham. They were lucky to get away with the draw. While the part of Wolverhampton Wanderers, they drew 1-1 against Brentford, sorry, lost against Brighton and Hove, and of course lost against Arsenal 2-0 at their home ground. Uh, not so much to difference between both teams. 17th position for Everton, 20th position for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Manage Everton have managed just 3 wins in the course of the season. Wolverhampton Wanderers have managed just 2 wins in the course of the season as well. Five draws for Everton, 4 for Wolverhampton Wanderers, 7 losses for Everton, 9 for Wolverhampton Wanderers. The goal per game expectation is terrible for both teams. 0.73 for Everton, 0.53 for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Top players, honestly, I don't see any top players. Yeah. In all honesty, if Alex Iwobi have pretty done well for himself in the course of the season, but if it's the only outlet that you have in terms of goal creation, that speaks volume about your team. Um, Anthony Gordon, I knew Chelsea wanted to buy him in the course of the summer, but this is a kid leading the line for them. Neil Mapau, I know I've spoken about him. He needs 20 chances before he can score one. That's another a bad one for them. Ruben Neves is actually the highest goal scorer between those two teams with 4 goals. Ruben Neves is a defensive midfielder. Some of 2 of his goals have come through penalties in the course of the season. It's not looking good for both teams, if you ask me. But I figure that Wolverhampton, with their new coach, would try to do something against Everton, and I just feel Wolves will be nipping this. I expect Pedro Neto, Raul Jimenez, Goncalo Gudes, and of course Adama Traore to do something and help them. Ruben Neves, like we are expecting, would be focal point for Wolverhampton Wanderers as well. On the part of Everton, unless Alex Iwobi comes to the party and performs some kind of magic for them, I don't expect so much. I don't expect so much from both teams. I'm sorry for everything in this game. This guy Andros Townsend. Dwight McNeil. I don't see so much coming off this game. So I would be going for Wolverhampton Wanderers. I know that is kind of a little bit, it is a big challenge going for them, but I'm definitely going for Wolverhampton Wanderers in this one, for this one. And of course, to a more totalizing one, that will be the game between Newcastle versus Leicester City. Leicester City have rejuvenated themselves before the World Cup started. This is the first game since the World Cup. These guys have played 30 games between themselves in the Premier League right now. Leicester City with 12 wins, Newcastle with 13 wins, evenly distributed home and away for Leicester City, while Newcastle seems to be more comfortable at home, winning 8 times at home and five away games. Last time both met, it was Newcastle that carried the day, winning 2-0. They've been in a good form, like I exemplify before now. 5 wins in a row for Newcastle, 4 in 5 for Leicester City. In terms of positioning, Newcastle, thank you very much for correcting me. Newcastle actually have, they're actually third on the table right now, 7 points behind Arsenal. While Leicester City have climbed from the bottom of the table to the 13th position. They've been able to muster 5 victories as against Newcastle's 8 victories. Newcastle have been able to draw 6 times, which happen to be their the snag in their season so far. Otherwise, they would be over and above Arsenal at this point in time, save for the draws. They've drawn 6 times in the course of the season, which is not too good for them in terms of what we are looking at for them. But top position is not so bad. I'm not expecting Newcastle to win the league, so no pressure Newcastle, no pressure Medina. And Leicester City have drawn twice, lost whooping 8 games, and Newcastle have lost just once in the course of the season. Ratio Ratio of goals per game, 1.6 for Leicester City, 1.93 for Newcastle. And of course, as expected, Amoron is the leader for in the goal scoring chart for Newcastle. With 8 goals, he has scored 8 goals this season already. James Madison with 7 goals for Leicester City. Amrabat with 6 goals. That means the goals can come from anywhere. James Madison with 4 assists. Jimmy Vardy with 4 assists as well for Leicester City, and Alan St. Maxim with 3 assists. Maxim, don't forget, did not play the last 3 or 4 games for Newcastle before the World Cup. So the creativity is spread across all across the pitch for Newcastle. Anybody can create goals. Looks like if you mark out Madison very well, you are blocking a channel, creativity channel for Leicester City. So if I'm Eddie Howe, I'll be looking at that. I'm saying, okay, let's stop Madison for a while and see how the flow is going to look for them. Stop Madison, stop Abby Barnes, and let's see how it's going to look for them. In terms of passing, Yuri Telemans is leading all the way with 821 passes. Kevin Trippier with 777, which huge discrepancy if you ask me. And of course, don't forget you little man plays in the heart of the midfield. As a defender, you're expected to make completed passes. In terms of tackle, Unitary Man's leads that as well with 34, and Yolentin with 31, with 33, and Bruno Grimares with 31. In terms of tackles is all over the field. But an exceptional one would be Yolentin. Yolentin used to be a striker. He has been reverted now, should I say? He has been reverted now to be a center midfielder right now, depending on the day. Sometimes he still plays as a left forward. Sometimes he plays as a number 10. Sometimes as a number 8. But center midfielder in most occasions. But racking up this number of tackles just goes to show you the industry of Yolentin and what it brings to the table. This is a pretty balanced one. Calling this one would be pretty difficult even for me. But I would go with Castle on this one. I'll go for a draw, actually. As a matter of fact, I'll go for a draw for this one. A 2-2 draw. Expect medicine to perform miracles. You're determined to do to hold his forte as well. But don't forget my homeboy, Miguel Hammeron, who has been apologized to by Jack Grealish. And of course, to the next one would be Southampton versus Brighton and Hove. Brighton and Hove, with what we saw of them in the course of the week, looks to be devoid of an idea of how to actually score goals. Expect Southampton to win this one at home, while Brighton and Hove are trying to get back into groove. That just goes to show you what is expected post World Cup, in terms of the players. Um, I'm laughing because the next game is between Aston Villa versus Liverpool. Liverpool, I don't know what exactly they will do to Danny Nunes. Danny Nunes has confirmed himself to be a little bit of nuisance, losing all those golden opportunities. I don't understand exactly what Darwin Nunes expects to be done for him before he gets those chances to win and score goals for Liverpool. And don't forget, a certain Unai Emery is back at at Aston Villa, and before and since he came back, they've been racking up victories upon victories as well. Last within in their last four games, bar the 7-2 win for Aston Villa, Liverpool has been able to take these fixtures by a long goal, or should I say the odd goal, 2-1, 1-0, 2-1, all in favor of Liverpool. Before the World Cup started, Aston Villa went on a roll with 3 out of 5, losing 2 games, one to Fulham away, another one to Newcastle away. But before then, but afterwards, they defeated Manchester United 3-1, defeated Brighton and Hove 2-1 as well away from home. For Liverpool, they won against Southampton 3-1, against Spurs 2-1, lost against Leeds United, Nottingham Forest as well, lost against Nottingham Forest as well 1-0. This, in terms of the fixture itself, they've met 54 times. Of course, as expected, Liverpool is leading this one with 31 wins, while Aston Villa has just 13 wins. Uh, surprise, goals. Robert Firmino leads this one with 7 goals. I'm looking forward to what impact Robert Firmino will play going forward in terms of the season. Mo Salah with 6 goals, Danny Ings with 5 goals. But don't forget that Olewakis is coming back to the groove and starting games these days. For Aston Villa, assists is being led by Liverpool as well. 4-3-3. Andrew Robertson, Robert Firmino, and Mo Salah. In terms of passes, led by Liverpool as well as expected. But in terms of tackles, it's Aston Villa all the way. John McGinn, Jacob Ramsey, and Boubacar Kamara leading the way with 38, 31, and 30 tackles. So expect more tackle from this game. Goals per game, Liverpool leads with two goals per game, as against Aston Villa 1.07 goals per game. In terms of goals to be considered, Liverpool are still Aston Villa leads this one with 1.47, while Liverpool is expected to concede 1.21 goals per game. This is happening at home for Aston Villa. We also our Aston Villa shocked um Manchester United last time out. But like I said, it's difficult to call for this one. Liverpool happen to be in the better shape, if you ask me honestly. And the reason why I say they happen to be in the better shape is they already played against um Manchester City. That's one game under the belt. As against Aston Villa, they are be trying to get back into the rhythm of competitive football. So I expect Liverpool to win this one by all goal, maybe 2-1 or 1-0 as well. And to your darling Arsenal, Arsenal are going to be playing against West Ham. Arsenal, uh, like more or less like the a mini god in this fixture. They've played 52 times against West Ham, won whooping 34 games against West Ham. While West Ham have won just 8, while we have 10 draws in their recent excuse me, recent matches, West Ham has lost 4 times against Arsenal. What they have, their single draw into back in 2021, 3-3 at home against Arsenal. Arsenal are on the roll as well. 4 victories in their last 5 games. While West Ham needed that break. They've not been doing well at all. Lost 4 of their last 5 games. The only one against Bournemouth. Back in I believe back in November. Sorry, back in September. So it's pretty long time. Arsenal currently sits on top of the league right now. One West Ham are like on the 16th position. Goals expected, average goals per game, 2.36 for Arsenal. West Ham with 0.8. That's terrible. And Arsenal has been meaning the defense as well. 0.79 goals to be conceded. Wow, you expect West Ham to at least concede 1.13 goal in this game. In terms of goals, Arsenal leads basically all the charts. Assists is Bukayo Saka with 6 assists, Granit Xhaka with 5. Garebe Jesus with 5, Granit Xhaka with 3. But in terms of tackle, we've seen more from West Ham, Thomas Suchek with 47 tackles, Declan Rice with 36 tackles, and Ben White with 28 tackles. In terms of passes, William Saliba leads that, closely followed by Declan Rice, and of course, Gabriel Magnelis. And of course, in terms of goals right now, goals is spread across the field for us now. Martin Odegaard leads the way for them, 6 goals. Gabriel Jesus 5 goals, and Gabriel Martinelli with 5 goals. But the problem right now is for Arsenal is Gabriel Jesus is out for the next 3 months. It becomes a big question mark for Arsenal. What do you think Arsenal should be doing? They'll be closely linked to Modric of Shakhtar Donetsk, Joao Felix of Atletico Madrid, who wants to leave Atletico Madrid anyways. Jesus Cesaro came out to say Joao Felix wants to leave because of breakdown in communication and relationship between himself and Diego Simone is what's causing Joao Felix to leave. Joao Felix wants to play a more attacking football as against the philosophy of Diego Simone. I know this is something I've spoken about in the past, the way Diego Simone plays his football, but of course, that's not open for discussion right now. I beat the fact that I have to do this all by myself, and it's getting a little bit crazy and overwhelming for me right now. And of course, so expect this. It's going to be happening live at the Emirates in 21 hours, 51 minutes, and 34 seconds. That's when the game will be starting. I expect Arsenal to win this. I would say Arsenal will take this by 3-0. Gabriel Martinelli on the scorer charts. I hope I'm right and I'm not wrong on this one. And of course, for Chelsea are going to be playing against Bournemouth. They played 10 times against Bournemouth, and this fixture happens to be a crazy one. Just one draw. Chelsea have won 4 times, 5 times. Sorry, Bournemouth have won 4 times. So it's not an easy fixture for Chelsea, or it was not going to be an easy ride for them. But the last time they played was in 2020, where it ended in a 2-2 draw between both teams. Chelsea have not been carving out the goals. That happens to be a major problem for them. But with the resurgence of Akin Ziyech from the World Cup, I'm hoping and praying for the sake of football, for the sake of the blue lovers, for the sake of the blue fanatics. I hope Akim Ziyech would be playing better role in this team going forward. We see what he can do. Either playing from the right hand side or for front three, or playing just behind the striker. Akim Ziyech can give you multiple athletes and multiple and quick thinking to carve out these goals. Chelsea are not doing so well on that front. Imagine Kai Havertz is the highest goal scorer for Chelsea, and at this stage of the competition, he has just 3 goals. Philip Billing has more goals than Kai Havertz, who happens to be the leading goal scorer for Chelsea. In terms of assists as well, they've not been scoring so much goals, so the assists are not even coming front. Bournemouth are leading the assist all the way. Marcus Tavernier, formerly of Rangers, that dude is their right back. Has 4 assists. I love that guy. I would love him to play with my club one of these days, if chance permits. Donny Solanke with 3 assists, Luz Cook with 2 assists as well. That means nobody in Chelsea has more than 1 assist. In terms of passes, as expected, Jorginho is one of leading as passers between these two teams, and Thiago Silva is leading this one. In terms of tackles, Philip Billing, who happened to be their leading goal scorer and their striker, is leading in terms of tackle with 39 tackles. That tells you, and that's crazy. That tells you a lot about this fixture and about the kind of pressing game that Bournemouth plays. After their crazy loss against Liverpool, they become a resurgent team and try to carve out something for themselves. But their last 5 fixtures have not been good. Apart from the fact that they won against Everton, they lost against Leeds United 3-4, lost against Southampton 3-2, lost against West Ham 0-2, and lost against Southampton, against Spurs 3-2, and lost against Southampton 1-0. Chelsea has been on a rule of losses. Newcastle, Arsenal, and Brighton and Hove. Those are the last 3 losses for Chelsea. They needed the World Cup as well. And in terms of position, Chelsea are on the 8th position. Bournemouth, that used to be on the 28th position, on the 14th position right now. In terms of victory, Chelsea has 6 victories, while Bournemouth have 4 victories as well. Chelsea have drawn 3 games. Bournemouth has drawn 4 games. Chelsea have lost a whooping five games in the course of this season. That is terrible, if you ask me. Out of out of 9 fixtures, out of 14 fixtures, they actually lost 5. That's terrible, and it's not a situation you want to have yourself. In terms of games goals per match, Chelsea have 1.2 goals per match, while Bournemouth has 1.2 as well. Goal considered is the only place where Chelsea looks better. And in terms of clean sheets, they both have 4 clean sheets. Like I said, the top stats. I'm not overly um confident for Chelsea right now. I would call a draw for this game. Honestly, I'm sorry, Chelsea fans, but I'll call a draw for this game. And of course, Manchester United will be playing against the erratic Nottingham Forest. Win today, lose tomorrow. Nottingham Forest in their last 5 games have won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1. Comprehensively or emphatically against Arsenal. That's the only loss. United are gradually back to their reading. Uh, 3 wins in the last 5 games, 1 draw and 1 loss as well. In terms of goals expected, 1.4 for United, and games in terms of considered goals as well, 1.4. In terms of considered goals for Nottingham Forest, is going to be 2, and the goals they are expected to score is 0.73, and that is terrible. I only Anthony and Marcus Rashford leads the way in terms of going this fixture. So expect Marcus Rashford to get a goal in this fixture. If you don't have Christian Eriksen on your FPL, I would advise this is about time to get Eriksen into your team. Eriksen is relatively cheap right now. Relatively cheap right now. I think it's about 5.3 million pounds or less. So if you don't have him, this is about time to get him into your team. He leads the assists for this one, 4 assists, and of course they will be missing Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez for this particular fixture because those 2 guys play the World Cup finals and will be back probably next week. Mauritania has come out to say he's expecting Varane to come back as soon as possible. Right now, currently Manchester United are on the 5th position, while Nottingham Forest are on the 18th position. I expect Manchester United to win this one. If you ask me emphatically, I would say I'll call a 4-0 or 3-0 victory for United on this one. And to um, the fixtures that most people don't like, or should I say, most people don't enjoy, especially if you're a Manchester City fan, is the game between Leeds United versus Manchester City. They played 18 times between themselves. Leeds leading this one with 7 victories as against um, City's 6 victories. But in the last 3 fixtures, City has scored a whooping 12 goals as against just 2 for Leeds United. Last time it was 4-0 victory at home away from home for Manchester City, and before then it was a 7-0 whitewash of Leeds United at the Etihad Stadium. I expect Manchester City to win this as well. I'll call an archie for Haaland. Except Leeds could be a little bit more conservative and try not to press too much. But with way Kevin De Bruyne has gotten his group back, Real Mahrez, they see how Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, host of other guys. I don't know how Leeds United are going to come out of this unscheduled. Right now, Leeds are on 15th position. Manchester City on second position. Manchester City have won 10 out of their 14 fixtures right now. Leeds have managed just 4, drawn 3, and lost 7. So I expect, and the goals per game for Manchester City is 2.86. That's whooping. That means they score almost 3 goals per game. So I expect them to to take this one most definitely in terms of goals. Elinana the Magician is on 18 goals. We don't have to we don't have to say anything. In terms of tackle, that's the only way where place where Leeds United might have a little bit of chance if the tackle were on the day. Tyler Adams of United States of America leads with 52 tackles. Pascal Struijk with 42 tackles, and almost Christensen with 35 tackles. In terms of passes, Rodrigo is leading 1,200. That is whooping 1,200 after just 14 fixtures. And people don't put respect to the name of Rodrigo. You should learn to respect this guy. It ticks all the boxes. He plays and connects the midfield and the attack. Sorry, the defense and the attack. Sorry about that. The defense and the attack is the connection, is the bridge. That is crazy as well. If you ask me, Juan Cancelo playing as at the left back with 971. It's expected that centre backs should be in front of this, but they are not. That just goes to show you how much passes that Manchester City strings per game. In terms of assists, KDB is leading, followed by Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden. And in terms of goals, Rodrigo and Phil Foden are closely behind um, the magician Erling Haaland. And that's the roundup so far for the English Premier League right now. And in terms of other stuff, it's going to be how do you think Arsenal will be able to perform without Gabriel Jesus? Jesus so far scored just 5 goals for Arsenal, but that does not tell you the full story of what Jesus has done so far for Arsenal. It does not give you the full story of what Jesus has done so far for Arsenal. He gives them assists as well. It bridges the gap for them. And the only person, okay, should I say the striker that comes to mind now that will take over from Jesus is Eddie Nketiah. He's already made 12 appearances, no goals, no assists. Do you think Eddie Nketiah is the right fit to take over while Jesus is out, or should we expect Arsenal to spend big and bring someone that could play for Arsenal in that position while Uzuz is out? And or should we move? Should they move Gabriel Martinelli to that side of the attack while they have someone play Gabriel Martinelli's plays in terms of and Nelson, Richard Nelson is actually Wills Nelson is actually out injured as well. So moving someone, probably Fabio Vieira, to that spot would be the only option on Marquinhos to moving Marquinhos to the position of Martinelli while Martinelli moves to the center forward. It's a case of cluster F for Mikel Arteta right now. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes right now if you ask me. But what do you think Arsenal should do? And of course, Amrabat to Liverpool is still on the furrow. While Fiorentina are saying get your hands off our player, Amrabat is going to be a free agent by June. So it only makes sense for Amrabat to move to Liverpool. Let's see how that unfolds. In the coming weeks, I've already spoken about Akin Ziyech right now, and what he could possibly bring to Chelsea. The confidence is brimming right now, and what he can do for Chelsea right now. How do you expect Akanziye to be playing for Chelsea? Do we expect Akanziye to just be another guy for Chelsea, or it should become a focal point and be given all the chances right now and see how that will be happening for Akanziye? And of course, finally, before we go on the show, it's going to be Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho has been out there to take over as the coach for Portugal. It's so sad that Jose Mourinho could not work with Cristiano Ronaldo. Don't forget, we've seen this before. We've seen coaches coaching a national team and at the same time a club side. So if it happens, no surprise there. But I look forward to seeing Jose Mourinho being in the dugout for Portugal. They have a wonderful team, if you ask me, a tantalizing team. Anyways, that's a wrap for the show. Let us know, or let me know what you think. Do you think Jose Mourinho should become the next coach of Portugal? How well do you think, as you can see here, should be used for Chelsea for the rest of the season? Should Amrabat move to Liverpool? And of course, who should be taking over for Gabriel Jesus in Arsenal? And that's a wrap, and that's the show. We've been together for a for a long time. Thank you very much for everybody that viewed, liked, and subscribed to the channel. We appreciate you guys. You can do a rewatch of this on our YouTube channel under the live program. If you like it, please like, subscribe, and share to other viewers. My name is Lalija Adebowale. It's still the best show in the whole of the universe. It's News to Sport. Till I see you again next week, or probably the middle of the week, where we do a quick review of things. We could be on our Twitter space. The Twitter is News Center 2 on Twitter. We are there. Like us and follow us. We do a quick follow back on that as well. And News Instanters underscore on Instagram. All lots of content there. We give you daily dose from the basketball world to the football world and a whole lot of others. Till we see you again next week. Bye, guys, and have a wonderful sporting week.